Greetings to everyone, those who are my subscribers, followers, and those who are viewers of my video. Very happy to meet you all. And today we are going to see the gospel passage that is given in the Gospel Luke, chapter 2, verses 41 to 51. Chapter 2, verses 41 to 51. Chapter 2, verses 41 to 51. Now, what really Jesus has to say to us that we are going to say. What Jesus really wants us to see in this that we are going to see. Gospel of Luke, chapter 2, verses 41 to 51. And in this, what Jesus is telling us that see. The gospel of this passage is memorial of Immaculate Heart of Mary, the account of Mary and Joseph taking their 12-year-old son Jesus up to Jerusalem to celebrate the feast of Passover. When the celebration of Passover ended, Jesus and Mary packed up and began to travel back home. They assumed just Jesus was traveling back with his friends and their parents, as was his custom. They did not realize that Jesus had remained in Jerusalem. After a time, Mary and Joseph began to look for Jesus among their relatives and friends. They asked everyone they met if they had seen Jesus. However, no one had seen Jesus since they had left Jerusalem. This was highly unusual behavior of Jesus. He typically was very responsible. Imagine the fear of Mary and Joseph experienced when they realized that Jesus must still be in Jerusalem. I suspect that there is nothing for parents than not to know their own child and wondering if their child is safe. Immediately, Joseph and Mary traveled back to Jerusalem. Mary and Joseph looked for Jesus for 3 full days. What a nightmare those days must have been for them. On the third day, Joseph and Mary found Jesus in the temple. He was still sitting in the temple with the teachers and Jesus cautioning them. Imagine finding one of your children in the temple or church, questioning the priest, rabbi, or minister. How could you react when you find your child? First of all, I suspect you would feel relieved to know that your child was saved. However, later on, you like, however, later on, you likely would be extremely angry that your child had the nerve to stay behind without saying a word to you. Didn't your child realize how worried you could be? Apparently, Jesus was not flustered by his parents' reaction. Rather, he calmly said to Mary and Joseph, did you not know that I would be in my father's house? Then Jesus stood up and returned home with Mary and Joseph. When they returned to Nazareth, life returned to normal. Jesus was obedient to his parents. However, I suspect that Mary and Joseph often talked about Jesus and the experience they had in Jerusalem. They were amazed that Jesus had been listening and interacting with the teachers in the temple, and they wondered who and what he would be as an adult. Then the Luke writes, his mother treasured all these things in her heart. What memories do you hold in your heart today? As you look back over your life, in what ways do you sense God's presence? So these are the two questions that we have to ponder on reflecting on the passage of Luke chapter 2, verses 41 to 51. And this is the end of today's episode. The next we will meet with other videos. Thank you for having patiently lent your ears to me.